Hello, everybody. Welcome to B Plus, All Things Window Film. Um, it's a great day. It's cloudy outside. I am here, blessed to be speaking with Donnie DIXON. We're going to be talking about Donnie and his career and all the future uh, with tint battles and all kinds of good stuff. Just a little bit. Donnie is no rookie to this industry, but I don't want to steal his thunder. Donnie, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
Uh,
Bob.
say a few words to us. Say hello.
Well, hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys and ladies that have, been a blessing to myself and my family, through this time. It's amazing, and you don't know what you're doing, but it's amazing, and I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Donnie, we love you too, man. It's through you that some really good things are happening in our industry, and we appreciate your courage and your willingness to be, out there in the limelight, and you're doing great things with that courage, and Carlos is really helping out with that. Boy, I can't give Carlos enough credit for what he's doing for our industry. Uh, yeah, so Donnie, a little bit about you. You've been tinning just a few days now, right? You took,
Just a just a couple.
yeah, just
Um, well, I started tanning back in '94.
94.
Uh, yes, sir. I worked at a paint and body shop that my parents owned. Pretty much grew up in the backyard doing paint and body work, and then we opened a shop. Uh, I worked in the paint department for about 5 years. Thought painting was going to be my career, and we opened an accessory shop next door because back in the '90s it was kind of rare to find places that sold the things that added accessories that you could put on your car, truck, whatever.
What state
Um,
was this in?
it's in Georgia. It's in
Georgia.
southeast Georgia, which is you know anybody coming down 95. It's the last exit before you go over the bridge, and you're in Florida. So it's right at the bottom. Uh, but yeah, we opened an accessory shop, and they were doing window tinting. Had two guys doing it. One was my older brother, and my dad kind of came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to learn how to tint windows?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? Anything to get me out of the paint department, you
Right.
know."
Standing.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, sanding and taping and priming and stuff. Which it was good, but we worked late hours. I
Sure.
mean, I would go home at 12 midnight,
Yeah.
and my brother would still be there, painting cars. So sometimes I just hang out with him for a couple more hours just because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be there by myself. So started, my brother taught me all the how to cut a pattern, how to clean a window, how to shrink a finger, the basic stuff. Which back then, nobody was doing one piece back glasses. It was seams and all that stuff. So, uh, but I did that for worked for my parents for about 18 years. With guys here and there that would come and go for a couple years time. But
So it was
you
a
know,
family business.
yes, sir.
Uh huh.
My mom had four boys, so they had a crew.
Yeah.
One was a painter, one sold winter tent and stuff. It did everything from alarms to everything.
Accessories.
One did detailing and worked in the paint department as well. So, we all kind of grew up in it,
Yeah.
and so did that for 18 years, and then I just kind of went off uh, on my own. Started working for a couple different tent shops, and me and Chuck Cochran, which is a name that some people know.
Oh,
Chuck I've known Chuck since '96. I've met him when he first moved into town. He was in the Navy. So, you know, um, when I was looking for a job, and the guy's like, "Well, I don't really need a tenant right now, but maybe you should call Chuck." Well, I called Chuck, and Chuck was actually on the road doing road work for certain companies, that needed contractors and stuff. Well, he didn't have anybody back at his shop, so I became the tenor of his shop, and he and I just, became really good friends. And we've done a lot together. I was on the road for like a year and a half just doing, road work for him, and got to travel. So that was, pretty cool. Uh, but it just, it seemed like it was the time. My wife had been wanting to move home to be near her mom and dad. So uh, we were switching rooms in the house, going, swapping what we gave up our room for our daughters, and we were swapping furniture around. I'm thinking like, this wouldn't be too difficult to pack this place up, but so little by little, things just started kind of moving in that direction where, I called her one day and I said, why don't you just have your mom and dad come pack you up, and she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. I didn't know I didn't believe I was saying it because, that's been my home for 49 years. So to leave your mom, your dad, your brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody, it was a big deal.
Tough, yeah.
And, you know, driving over that bridge from Georgia to Florida, heading down to I-10 to Texas I was like, man, but, we had a dream that, we sold our house, and the plan was just to I guess live out the rest of my life in Texas. So
You're in
started looking
San
for.
Antonio. Are you in San Antonio now?
Yes, sir.
Uh
Yes,
huh.
sir.
Yep.
So, you know, I moved here thinking I might have a job offer, but it didn't pan out. So I started looking elsewhere. I found a job, and that's kind of like during this whole process from July moving to Texas. Um, I just started having like these symptoms in my body, which I just kind of played them off as like could be this, could be dehydration, and it got you thinking, but you really didn't do anything about it. And it wasn't until I had to go do a drug test for a company I was going to start working for, like the next day. Um, my wife said, "Why don't you just go to the emergency room and have yourself checked out?" So I'm like, "Okay." So I went in, kind of told them my symptoms. They take me in the back, do some blood work. 5 days later, I'm still there.
Mm.
So not really worrying about the situation. I wasn't worried. I was just like, where's this going? And they just, doctor came in and said, hey, man, we went down your throat. We found the blockage. We think we know what it is, but we're going to have to do, a biopsy or whatever. So I went home, and about a week and a half later, they called me and said, hey, it's what we thought it was. It's cancer. And then, just kind of went from there with doctor's visits and stuff like that. But, everything as bad as it sounds, I mean, it seems like they've kind of worked out in my favor in a sense. They found it quick. Within like a month and a half, I'm in surgery, you know, getting it removed. Uh, Had about like a 2 month recovery because I mean when they open you up from top to bottom, it takes a while for all that to kind of heal up, and so I've been laying around. Well, I laid around for like 2 months before the chemo and radiation, started up, and I did that for a month. That was probably to me that was probably the worst of it.
Yeah.
5 days a week for a month.
Mm.
Uh, get your weekends off, but that's what it's doing to your body is brutal. So
Yeah. I heard that the decision to move to Texas was a pretty tough decision. You were contemplating it for a while, and you had prayed about it, and then you just felt compelled to move to Texas.
I don't know. I really don't know why. Me looking back and being a Christian, I always say God knew it was in me, and He needed to get me to where I needed to be in the best situation. Um, because I mean, we've been married for you know, let's see, since '93. So what in the math? 27 years. Anyway, my mind kind of went blank. The whole time, she kind of wanted to move over there, and it never seemed like the right time. Or our
And
kids had
family.
cousins, and everybody was growing up together and all that kind of stuff. Well, everybody had kind of pretty much grown up. They're all going to school, or they were in their 20s now. So uh, I don't know. I feel like God had a plan and just needed to get me over here so that we're staying with her mom and dad. Uh, if I'd been back home, the most of my appointments would have been like in Jacksonville, an hour away, or
Hmm.
Brunswick, something an hour. Who knows? So it would have been a lot more hassle. I still would have probably had to sell my house because I wasn't working the whole time. So you can't miss payments that much. So it just seemed the way it worked out before, not even knowing what was coming. Uh, Everything just seemed like it went as planned.
Yeah.
And I even told the doctor when he first came in, he's like, this is what you got, but I don't see why I can't get you healed. And I'm like, well, I told him, I was like, God knew this was coming. I didn't, but I mean, he knew it was, and it didn't surprise him. So, with everything that has gone on since then, from, not having a job and funds and stuff. I mean, we were living off like last year's income tax and the
Right.
stimulus. I mean, we were living off, what we could, to take care of the bills. And it just seemed like when I needed it, a check in the mail would come from like someone back home saying, hey, just want to do what I can. And just those little things like all the time. And the way this all began was like probably 2 days before the whole thing started with the giveaway on Winter Film Revolution with Sun Distributing. They were giving away a sprayer, and probably 2 3 days before that, my wife's like, "Hey, I've had to use every bit of the GoFundMe, which was at like 7,000 at the time." Um, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm past the radiation and chemo. I said, I haven't started the next part yet, but what can I do? Is it go work at a car dealership for maybe every other week, or just whatever I would have to do to make the bills or take care of whatever. And so that weekend I saw the little giveaway on Winter Film Revolution and said, I've always wanted a sprayer, so we did that. We sat down in a room, we did the counting Rick Tallman's and ohms,
Yeah.
and for 11 minutes, that's a long time. Uh, we only did it once, and I came up with one number, and she came up with another number, and I was saying, well, I was going to add at least 5 6 more to mine, but uh, you know,
Just to be
something,
accurate, it was Rick.
something
But yeah,
just,
you got to add
yeah,
5 or 6. Yeah.
yes, and you nodded off or daydream during that thing, so
Yeah.
I just felt like I'm gonna go with hers because if it would have been hers and I didn't, I would have felt terrible. So I went with her number and kept waiting. A couple days rolled by and I didn't know, but they were actually really trying to find out who did it right. And they told me after I'd won that the one girl, I don't remember if she listened to it 11 or 10 times, just to get the number close. And so Rick texted me through Messenger the first day I was doing my chemo, and he goes, "Hey man, I got your information. Just want to let you know that you won. But I went to your page and I saw you're going through some stuff, and I just wanted to see what we could do as a tent family." And I said, "Well, I'll be home like in a couple hours because they haven't plugged in for a few hours and stuff. And then you take the bag. I got the bag hooked up now. Um, you take it home with you from Tuesday to Thursday." So I said, "I'll call you when I get home," and we talked for about 45 minutes, and I could hear it in his heart that he was really interested
Yeah.
in doing something. But we as guys, we're like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, "Hey, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do." I said, "You don't have to do anything. I appreciate that you care, man." And It's you do what you want to do, and I'll just let it be. And I sat there watching his video, and it choked me up. And people started calling me or messaging me through Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey man, I live here in San Antonio. Uh, you need somebody to bring you a dinner, whatever." And those things, there was probably like 4 or 5 guys, just local, just reached out and was saying those things. And after that, the next night was when Dean posted his, and it just got bigger. I got people calling me from South Carolina saying, "Hey man, I'll fly over there and work it wherever you work at."
To
And
help.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I appreciate it. I'm not working I wasn't working anywhere, so I was like, I appreciate that you care. And and there's been a lot of those, you know, um, but just seeing everything that's going on.
Yeah.
People that don't know you. I've been in the tent business, for a long time, but there's there's thousands of us out there that just work in a shop, and they're not known for anything, but just to work there. They're known in their town, you
Sure.
know. They're known at the gas station, like, "Hey, tent dude," just stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we're all kind of famous in our own little world. So
Yeah. You're right. A lot of people have come together to help you out, and that's big healing. That's the reach that you've got. How it's worked out for all of us in the industry. It is bringing us all together. Um, I do want to go over some of those points you made, some distributing and what Dean started and how all that happened. But I'd like to let people here know just a little bit more about, jobs that you've done. And I want to speak to this one personally. I don't think that there's many people that know the talent that lies in your hands. I want to see if that picture comes across.
well,
Okay.
the
This is some
the
of your
submarine,
work. This
yeah,
is
that
some of your work.
submarine. We live in a Navy town, so that submarine is like a pen that some Navy guys had, and I sent the design to Computer Cut, so I was able to actually, you know, you can see the stages. I usually try to take pictures like in levels, just in case I ever had to explain it or show it and just
Yep.
help people out. Um, I did that probably about 10 years ago. There was like, to me, it's before all trucks and vans started coming out with factory tinted glass. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I mean, look at the detail in some of these jobs. It's amazing. I mean, you see it in two different colors. Listen, I did a lot of this work myself, and I know what it takes. And the sad thing is you can't really charge what it's even worth.
I never did. I just enjoyed
Hours,
doing it. I
hours,
enjoyed doing it.
hours in it, and I enjoyed it too.
Hmm.
You're building them on the board backwards, and then you're taking
Yeah.
the whole
You kind of
design.
visualize it. You have to visualize
Yes,
how I'm going to cut this out because, you know, I have to layer this up.
yes,
And some people do it front to back. Some of those I would weed them out, put stuff behind it. Some of them would go in front and then layer them that way. So it just kind of depended on the particular job. Uh, I had a customer actually bring me a design that he created on his own and said, "Can you do this for me?" So you're able to upload it to Computer Cut, and I was
yep,
able to cut it, and it had only ever been done twice. His was the first, which was the best one, just because I did it in multicolors and stuff. The other one was just like a black and silver version, but um, yeah, I went and found me like a font style that looked like
yep,
handwriting, and I
yep,
just started like putting D Dixon in the bottom corner, but it was in vinyl, and
yeah,
I stuck it on the inside of the glass and then tinted over it so they couldn't take it off,
right,
and and I could always say that's mine, you know.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, the bulldog was a big thing just because we're from Georgia and that's what we do. So
yeah. You were signing your work. I don't know if that'll come across, but
the
right
little
down here in the
yeah.
corner was you were signing your work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's just awesome. Yeah.
What was cool was I was able to design these and have them together before the person even showed up. So they would show up, you have a pattern of a back glass so you can size it up to fit.
Yeah.
You get it ready. So all you're doing is just regular. You just lay it on the glass and trim it to fit and then stick it on. Doing that fast mode, too many mistakes. So I was able to like do it over a couple of days or, in my free time because I would stay after work or if I had, time in between jobs, I would just kind of
So
do those. And when they would show up, I would just stick them on.
see now that's new to me because I would build them there. I mean, we all have a piece of scrap. We leave it laying over here, and if water gets on it, where it's rolled, it
Hmm.
has that gray or that cloudy. So the cloud
Milky
shows
look.
you were across your
Yeah.
window. So you were building these graphics out of the film ahead of time, and then what? Letting them cure?
Pretty
Or
much. So they would dry like the two layers would dry together, and then sometimes like you'd pull the front off and
yes,
maybe insert a color in, and
yes,
you just wet it and put the plastic back on, tack it down, and just let them kind of cure together. So everything was because I did it one time where I didn't, and letters started like
yeah.
shifting on, and I'm like, trying to move them back the way, and I was like, that ain't gonna work. So I would have them ready. So that when the guy showed up, maybe they'd leave him overnight just so they would I'd have time for him to tack up or cure. Because trying to push something out 2 layers in, you
Yeah.
know, uh, I didn't want like a finger to pop up on a design piece of a design, but if they
Yep.
dried together, because before I was even doing that, some guy brought me one from that he bought like in California from a place called Mike's Tent Shop or some big name that
Uh
was
huh.
back in, and I'm like thinking I could do these so much better because his did. I think he was using like a dry like a dry adhesive
Yeah.
where it didn't really have the tech because some of these things were just popping loose on the like the tribal design that he would have,
Yep.
and I would actually have to lay it on the window and trim it to fit to make it look because it was like oversized. I'm like, I guess he didn't really make them for particular vehicles. He just like sold them and whatever. So I'm laying them up so I could get the best design from his design, best look from
Yeah.
his design to where it would kind of die out maybe and then come back up or whatever
And
worked.
then put
Um,
graphics on the car. I did all that.
hmm
You know, I remember this one truck I did, an F-150 for a kid. He rode four wheelers. So I had a graphic. First it was the Ford oval, and then I put the
hmm
four wheeler busting out of that, and then wavy checkered flag. And I mean, I spent hours and hours on this. In the computer, moving the little pieces around and just getting it all ready. And then he wanted 2 layers of 5% on the back, and I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. I mean, there's vans running around with no rear windows,
window, yeah,
so I'm thinking, okay, let's do it. Well, he come back about 6 months later and says it's too dark. You got to take it off. I said, I'm
yeah,
not taking it off. I said, he says, I'll pay you. And I said, that is artwork. Take your money, buy a rear window and have it installed. Give me my art, and I'll tint your truck again.
yeah.
And so we got it all done, but I still have that to this day. Yeah, yeah,
Before I left, this is kind of off the subject, but part of it. Um, Before I left Georgia, I was tinting some windows on a lady's house, and uh, she used to be married to my cousin. Well, after I got finished with it, I'm thinking I had this back glass, just a glass out of a truck, like I think it was an S10 back window,
mhm.
and I made it because I thought it would become something, but I never got the chance to do it. It was a Dale Earnhardt Jr. 8. It was red, it looked like the side of his car,
Nice.
and it said Budweiser, it said Dale Earnhardt Jr. actual because I could find like the actual autograph
Uh huh. Yep.
and be able to cut it out. So everything was like the side of the car. And I just said, that'll look cool in the back glass. Well, he ends up changing teams in NASCAR and all that stuff, and, and never got to make it. But I had this design. I'm like, this is the one and only. And her son's a big NASCAR fan, and I texted her and I sent a picture. I said, "Do you think Jordan would want this?" And she said, "Yeah." So I cleaned it off because it'd been sitting in my shed for a while, and took it over to his house and gave it to him. And I'm like, I don't know anybody who would have appreciated it more than him.
Yeah.
And so I gave it to him, and it was just like I thought it was cool,
Yeah.
to be able
Yeah.
to give something to somebody that meant something to you. But I'm sure it's sitting in his room with his other cutout cardboard NASCAR people and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I'm sure he did appreciate it. So, Donnie, you've also done a whole lot of flat glass work. I bet there are some nights in after hour jobs that you were out in the field when I was out in the field. You
well, I'm
know,
sure,
yeah.
I'm sure
When I thought about that, how cool is that?
we could have been in side by side buildings. Who knows?
Yeah,
You know.
that's right. That's right. I mean, so I've seen some pictures of some of the jobs you did. That's amazing work. So your talent goes from the art of window tinting to just regular auto, big shop production where you've got multiple installers in large shops, flat glass by yourself, big crews, lifts, you name it. You've done it all.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to work with certain guys, but also, you know, uh, be a part of a big job,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool to look back on. Say, might not have done that again if you asked me, but it was fun to do it because we got to work on the Atlanta airport. Um, they did the Delta. They tinted the whole thing, and just to be chosen, we had to do background checks and
Yeah.
learn how to drive a boom lift and all the things that go with those types of jobs. But that was nighttime work. That was from 10 at night to 5 in the morning.
Yep.
Working on the outside of an airport. So
Yeah.
it
So
was
there you
cool.
go. Exterior as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean that's and windy. Airports are always windy.
If
Yeah.
uh if we lost two windows, they would kind of call it,
Yeah.
because these were like 71 by 9.5 feet tall, and it was the high dollar film. So that's like $200 in film per. If you
Yeah.
mess that up, it's just you're wasting film and money. So
That's two people holding it, starting it. One's unrolling, and you're
well, we would have to
finishing the
kind of start
top
up top and slowly go down because it was so 9.5 feet was kind of hard to you
to
know
move the
and
boom.
and the type of film we were using, trying to drop roll, it didn't work with that because it had too much tack on it. So you get dry spots, you end up sticking it where you don't want it stuck. So we would have everybody had their own method, but these guys that were doing that job were from like Arizona, Seattle, Baltimore. Um, there was a bunch of us on that job, and it was fun to be a part of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Well,
sleeping during the day was kind of fun. You know, go to
hard to
sleep and
shift,
wake up at 3 in the afternoon or something.
hard to shift your schedule. Just when you get used to it, the job's over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would have our weekends off, and then
Uh-huh.
we're like, what do we do? We go home and go to sleep, or do we,
Yeah, let us go to
try to stay
work.
awake? Try to stay awake. But yeah, I was fortunate when I worked for Chuck. What started it all, because where we live at in Georgia,
Yeah.
hurricanes is like a season, and a hurricane came through probably like 3 years ago and knocked the power out in our town for like a week or so.
Hmm.
So Chuck didn't want to send us home, so we came in, did lawn work, all that stuff, but there was no power, no anything, and half the town had left anyway. Uh, so he just got in touch with some of the bigger companies, said, "Hey, do you have any work that you need some people to do?" And yeah. So we left that just that quick. We left that Wednesday and did a eight day job in Atlanta. And once you kind of get on their radar, they'll feed you. So we did that for a while, and some of us went back to the shop, and some of us went on the road. And I actually went back to the shop for a while, and chucking a crew in on the road to do some stuff for a good while, and then I went on the road for like a year and a half doing vinyl work, which was
Graphics. Yeah.
it was exterior stuff. We were just wrapping panels. Then instead of like
Yeah.
replacing them, they just wanted to cover them and change the whole front of these buildings.
Yeah.
Uh, so went from Miami to New York, across to Michigan, Arizona, Colorado, Alaska, California.
You
It was
know,
crazy.
and I don't know about, some of the young dealers that maybe not have traveled and done jobs, but that's amazing when you get to experience that. Yes, there's some lonely feelings, um, but when you drive into a metropolitan area and you're seeing all these buildings and you know that you've got a 40-story building in your
Hmm.
clipboard and you're driving and you're going to go the next day to meet and get pallets of film to do this
Hmm.
install. I remember one in Portland I did that was 102,000 square feet. I driving in and seeing that skyline, I go, which building is mine? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's an amazing feeling that not a whole lot of people in our
And it
industry.
takes a good crew of people to do that because you can't just rely on anybody to do it. You gotta guys that show up.
Ace it.
Sometimes jobs just don't, they're not really set up for what you need to be doing, but you gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I mean, like the area is not set up for tenting. It's like sheetrock dust and rocks and all kind of stuff. And you're
Mm,
like, you guys need to hold it down on the dust over there, but they're
yeah.
doing their job, so you
Or
have
you're
to
missed in the air
you
quick.
do it. Yep, yep. You got to figure out how to do it. I've flown into a job, and I'm like, the only way I can do this is tonight, because it was an outside job, and it shared a drive through. It was a particular, I'm not gonna say names of companies. It was a certain building, and the drive-through was with the other company, which was Starbucks, and they're not going to let me park a boom lift in their driveway for 8 hours.
Right.
So as soon as they closed that night,
Yeah.
me and the boss's son jumped on it and worked from 9 or 10, whatever it was, till 6 or 7 in the morning, whatever time Starbucks was opening. We got probably 90% of it done, and I just had to ask them for like 30 minutes because I had to paint some gaps and stuff that the vinyl wouldn't get into. So,
So
but
you
so
showed up on that job and
you visualize it.
you assessed what you had to do. You saw where you were and you went, I better just jump on this now. You didn't sleep that day.
We
You
just flew in.
flew. You flew
We
there
flew in, got the rental car, got the vinyl,
and looked at
talked to the
it and
talked to the
said, I'm on.
person. I said they had a front, side, and a back on this store, and I've got to patch holes where the pre-existing sign was, so I have to sand them, bondo them, whatever, uh, get it done. And so we were able to get the back and the side pretty much knocked out. I finished the front the next morning. I think we took like a 2 hour nap or something. And so within like a day and a little bit, it was done. And
That's
most of those jobs, they only gave us like a day and something.
sure. Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know who came up with these ideas, but some of them jobs, because you don't know, you walk into it's raining.
Yep.
I had to buy ponchos, and
Yep.
me and the boss's son are like, I said, we'll wrap this vinyl. We can do it in wet, and we'll
Uh-huh.
do all that. We'll just have to come back when it stops so we can paint the stuff that we couldn't get to. So it was fun. I mean, you're like a kid. You're out there in a poncho, and like, dude, look, there's a stream. You're just enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Um,
But the biggest key there, the biggest takeaway is that when you got there, you assessed it and you said, "There's really only one way to get this job done right." And even though you put yourself into a tighter situation schedule wise, you said,
yeah.
"We need to just get this done." And that happens a lot out in the field. I mean, you could be up on a boom. I remember doing the inside of a mall, all the
Hmm.
skylights, okay? And, some of this thinking has to happen right there on the spot. The boom isn't long enough. Okay, I got to tie off safely, or OSHA don't watch, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
go
yeah.
out on the beams,
I don't
you
know what
know.
you're talking
I don't either.
about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I flew from Jacksonville to San Jose, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I need an extension ladder just so to get up on the roof line, and then I need a shorter ladder to stand on.
To do the
And
job.
a lot of times I would rent them, or I would purchase them, and then I would take them back and say it didn't work
Yeah.
because I only got up on it once or whatever. But you know, uh, and then I flew right back that night. I was gone and back home in about 25 hours. I was
Wow.
like, I would never do that again. Because she asked me, she said, you want a hotel room? I was like, just let me return this ladder. And
Yeah.
that plane ride, trying to sleep, and it was terrible. But
Yeah.
I got to watch the sun come up in Charlotte. Uh, you just take it for what it is, and
Yeah.
enjoy the little things.
Yeah. Wow. You just mentioned something that I got on your Facebook and looked, and I just think this is worthy of mentioning. Donnie, you do like the outdoors. I mean, the sun's coming up, you just said. So Donnie's driving. He takes pictures out of his vehicle, little videos. This is just
What does that say? Early morning St. Mary's? Okay.
yep,
That's we are as southeast, so that is the east coming up out of the water. And
yep.
you know,
And you're
I'm sitting
artistic. Look at this one
I'm
here. You've got
oh yeah.
pictures of rainbows and how the sunset or sun.
That
Uh,
was out the side mirror of my truck.
I'm seeing you're just a big softy, man. This is just amazing stuff. Just after it rained, sunset and rainbow combo.
Yeah,
This was
the
a
sun was going
sunset
down
Sunday
behind me.
evening on my way home from the airport. Donnie, man, you're something else, man. Yeah. Most people wouldn't take the time to notice that stuff, you know?
Well, you know how like we say, man, I wish I could do that. Well, when I was in San Diego, we were actually maybe an hour or so away from the coast.
Yeah.
But I told the other guy, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna go watch the sunset before we go to the mall tonight. And he's like, oh, whatever. And I said, dude, we're gonna watch the sun go down on the west coast.
Yeah.
And we sat there on the rocks. He ended up coming. We sat on the rocks, but it was just something I knew I would probably never in a long time because for years, 18 years, I just lived in a tent bay, tent cars, and
Yeah.
they come in, go out, and you go home. So the first time me and Chuck traveled was to Indianapolis to do a job, and I'm like, this is cool, boss. We're flying somewhere. We're gonna go do something, and then you wake up somewhere else, you go home. Uh, we went to Wisconsin, did one, but then I just kind of became the guy that he sent with whether it was his son or another guy, and I just started training him, kind of help me, and I did that for like a year and a half. But when me and his son Cameron were over in San Diego and the sun's going down, I'm like, dude, this is cool, you know.
Yeah.
We'd be on a boom lift, and I'm like, Cameron, there's the Rocky Mountains right over there,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Right. Man, smelling the roses. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome, man. It really is. Well, I can see, how blessed you are.
Yes,
Spoke a
sir.
little bit with your wife today. I mean, she just seems like a sweetheart, Miss Stephanie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's awesome. She shared a few of those points with me that we got into. Um, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a minute to talk about the the benefits that are going
Yes, sir.
on your behalf. So I believe it was Dean Mitchell started or restarted the GoFundMe. Is that
Rick McIntyre from Sun Distributing was the first one who posted a video,
yes?
and
And
he kind of brought it to the attention. Now, how Dean found out about it, I have no idea. It's just I got tagged in a video and I watched it, and like I was telling, I think it was Jason on Tender Tuesday. When someone calls your
Jason's
name
awesome,
that,
man. Good
that
guy.
does not know you, like
Yeah,
he said, we got a brother out there, Donnie DIXON, and when they say your name,
yeah,
and you're like, man, just that someone said it, and just knowing what he was saying that needed to be done and stuff like that, and not really knowing where it would go.
right.
I was just appreciative, and just from the night before having these guys contact me and saying, hey man, I can bring you dinner, if you want some food cards to maybe have a night in and watch TV and eat and stuff. And um, there's so many things that have happened that no one knows about, because I've had guys text me and say, hey, I'm going to do this because I don't want it. He didn't want you know,
Sure.
anybody knowing.
Right.
And just this weekend, I was on the way to church, and he's like, I didn't get the message till afterwards, and he told me what he was going to do. He said he only tents on the weekend, and he said, I'm going to give you 25% of what I make. And for someone to do that who wasn't even a Facebook friend or you've never even talked to, it's amazing that someone's willing to just do it for someone.
I
And
love hearing it. I love
and I
hearing it.
appreciate it, brother. I'm telling him. Hopefully he's watching this. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Those silent ones that, I mean, from the heart, the gifts, they're awesome. They're awesome. I mean, that's true brotherhood right there. Yeah. But there have been a lot of people that have given, and I think even the ones that have given, if they don't mind, I
You
like
do
to
it.
put a little mention in.
Do
I
it.
mean, it's important. Sun Distributing not only did that, but I saw that they started donating. I mean, they've really stepped up. They did a great job. Um, then let's see. Well, as you guys know, or may not know, um, Coolview donated a trip to Hawaii, so it would be a big gift
Mm-hmm.
for people to enter a raffle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what happened today was there was a territory manager that I was talking to, a good friend of mine, and he was saying, just like what that guy did for you, unsaid. He says, I don't want my name out there. Um, I won't say his name was Brian, but he didn't want his name out
I
there.
got you.
Great guy. He ended up buying tickets for some of his friends. Okay, we're not going to say dealers or other business owners or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped up to buy some of these tickets so they might have a chance.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
all the proceeds are going to go to help you and your wife, you and Stephanie, through these trying times. Tint Wiz, um, auction merchandise pack. So I'm not sure exactly what that means here, Angie. If you want to help me understand what that's about, that would be great.
I saw where a guy had won something off of Tentwiz, and he offered it back to them as he said, auction this off. He won it he won it from
Yep.
the web page, and he actually said, I'm offering this back, and if you want to add something to it, he just was willing to auction it off, and whatever the proceeds would go to the GoFundMe. So
Another
just that
thing,
people.
Dean Mitchell did one of those, or somebody donated one of the bad Mama Jama heat guns.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been auctioning it off, and I think that got up to like $2,500 or 5,000. What was
It ended up being 45.
4,500? Two
And
guys won it, right? I mean, they went in together. Haas Evans and Adam Esco.
I'm not sure who.
I hope I'm
Um,
not butchering all this, y'all. And if I
no,
am, I'm sorry. But
we're tenors. We appreciate it.
yeah, there you go. anyway, they won that in the auction and they donated that back. Okay, so now it's back out again for that famous heat gun. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's one of the old time heat guns, if I'm not mistaken. Not some of this crap that we can get at Home Depot anymore. You know that don't
Back in the
work
day,
well.
they used to last like 9 months, maybe a year. Now, you lucky if you get 3 months out of them, you
Yep,
know.
yep. Of
Um,
course, Tintertainment has really been bringing out, the tent battles and Carlos and all the things that he's doing. We'll get to Carlos again in a minute, but Rodney McClure auctioning off a vintage tool set. Um, you can check that out at gasketprotools.com. Here's another one here. Solar FX auctioned off a roll of FX Extreme nano ceramic film. Um, and it brought in $800. Okay, and
I
Stuart,
have I have
Stuart,
screenshotted everything that I get tagged in
yes,
just so that I remember what was done, because they'll tag me in like an auction and I'll screenshot it and save it to my phone because I don't want to forget who auctioned it, who won it, and make sure that I let them know, that I appreciate it,
yeah,
you know. And here is I got this yesterday.
yeah.
Carlos sent it to me in the mail. Says, "Get well soon, Donnie. Texas Squeegee," and it's got the tenor battle on the back side of it. So
With the Olfa knives, yeah, that's awesome. See, I mean, all these things. There's just so much more. There really is. ATR Solutions auctioned off a case of solution. Um, I here's one that caught my eye. Help me understand this.
okay,
They've auctioned off Iron Duck Designs. Now they do work. Let's see. They designed the Texas Squeegee, Texas Tint Masters logo, as well as Shore Tint, Elite Window Tinting. And Adam Casillas, I've seen his logo and everything, and that's just really the bomb. Billy Ellis, and many more. They've done work for a lot of people, and so they're auctioning off a brand package, which means branding. I would assume
yes,
help
sir.
with the logo. I'm not exactly sure, but you know what? Kudos to Iron Duck Designs. Y'all look them up. That's awesome. Um, Steck USA has an auction going on right now on Window Film Revolution. Dig in, find out what that's about. I wish I had more details. My apologies. Um, but mentioning that Hawaii trip, I want right now. Angie's in the back room, and I hope she's. Oh, look at her. She's going to post the link. Okay. I Hey, this is a chance where you guys can donate to Donnie, help him and his family out with their bills. If you donate while you're on this show, we can watch its traction. Right now, we were sitting at 22 in here. I'd like to hit 50, 50 people tonight on the show. Let's get some people that if you're going to add to GoFundMe or go to one of these auctions, might as well get yourself a chance to win a trip to Hawaii. What do you think about that, Donnie? Hit him with the challenge, baby. Hit him.
Well, when I first saw it, and I'm like reading it, and I showed my father-in-law. He goes, "I want to go to Hawaii." I said, "Well, get you a ticket, pops." So I
Yeah.
told him. A lot of people, I mean, that's like it's mind blowing to a lot of my family, back in Georgia, because I talk to my one of my brothers all the time, and he's just amazed. He actually joined the Winter Film Revolution just so he could see all the things that were going on, and he's made comments on some of this stuff just because he actually bought some of the beef jerky back when they first did that.
Yep. I remember that.
My brother bought some beef jerky and then sent it to me, had it sent to me instead of to himself,
Uh huh.
and it's great beef jerky, man. It's good stuff,
Yeah. That's
and just all those things together. Uh, but yeah, to me, as far as your Hawaiian getaway, that's amazing. So um, hopefully someone that truly needs a getaway can win that thing. You know what I mean? That they can enjoy it and just, you know,
It's
it's for
a trip for
it,
two,
yes, sir.
7 days, 6 nights, plus a day in the bay. If it's a window tinner, they get
Mm-hmm.
to go over and spend an afternoon in the bay with Tommy Silva. Okay, one of the nation's largest window tinners.
Mm-hmm.
His shop can hold 10 cars all at the same time working. And if they're not into auto, I bet he wouldn't mind him going on some flat glass jobs. He's got 9 vans running all the time.
That's wild.
This guy's a beast, okay?
Just listening to his story about how where it came from, what he had to do with like when the tent laws got,
Yep,
enacted and he wasn't able to tent, so he became
yep.
a window remover, and just how he all that stuff was just to me it's fascinating, just you know how someone, took control of his own destiny and just made it happen and where he is now. And then I didn't get to hear all of it, but you started talking to him about he met his wife in kindergarten or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, long
You
time.
know,
Uh-huh.
so I was like, that's amazing. And
Hey, I
to have known someone that long,
yeah.
and so that's cool.
Marco just said that if he wins, because I know he's bought tickets, okay? If he wins, he's donating his trip to you.
Dude, you're
Dude,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Come on, man, right?
Oh yeah, man, much love on
Wow.
that, because I mean
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
yeah.
Never been there, never been there, and
I've only been there one time out of the country, but when I went, I visited Tommy Silva.
I do like Hawaii Five O, so I like that show.
I like the old one.
The new one's good too. So. But yeah, that would be amazing, man. I'd love it.
So, Donnie, your faith is very strong. I can see that on your Facebook as well. Um, I believe that you're pulling through this by the power of God,
Hmm.
and God has led you in the directions that you've taken to be in a place where you can get better treatment, or at least not have to travel as far.
Yes, sir.
Um,
I'm like 10 minutes away from most of my appointments, which is amazing, because it would have been a long trip,
yeah,
back home. So
yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm just rambling myself, but I want to, give you a little kudos, because a lot of times people don't talk openly about their faith, and you do. Um, and God has brought you right here.
Yes,
And
sir.
with His grace, you're going to pull through this with flying colors. And Marco's going to win that trip, and he's going to donate it to you. You know what I mean?
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
It would.
yeah.
It would
You,
be.
I don't know how you feel about this, and it's really between me and you right now, because it's
Yes, sir.
my dang show, and you're my guest. Okay, this is you and me. The rest of them, they can either join in or not. But would you mind if I said a prayer with you?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
I,
I
I, I would
appreciate it.
I would love to do
I'm
that.
all for it.
Okay,
Let me get my long hair out of here. All right.
yeah, at least you have long hair. Me too. God, we come to you in prayer tonight and thank you for the blessings that you've bestowed upon Donnie, and the power of the industry rallying around him. I hope that everyone out there is joining us in this prayer, making it a strong union and show of their faith, to power together in prayer to help the healing of this young man. That his heart is true. He's a great man. Lord, please see that the rest of the treatments, Donnie is strong and holds true. Please bless his family. They've all paid a dear price. Um, keep him in your heart, Lord, and take care of him. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen, brother. I appreciate it, Bob.
It's
Because sometimes, when whether it's Win a Tent or some other page or whatever, you really don't know, is this appropriate? Do I say what, because I'm not the kind of person who will say something, trying to start anything. It's more or less, if I read something and I feel like I need to just say it, and hopefully what I've said touches them, you know, in a particular, post or whatever. Uh, but I hope everybody knows, um, that they are truly a blessing to my family and I. None of this, I've looked back, and none of this was was made by anybody else. It's just a couple guys decided to get the story out there, and a lot of good people made it happen, kept it going. And every day, just seeing the posts, seeing the comments, you guys, Sean Vogel reaching out to me, telling me your story about, your cancer, and how you encouraged me to get up and go exercise, go walking or whatever it was, because laying around, dude, makes you lazy. And the longest I had ever not worked in my life was probably like a week and a half, because Dad did not allow it. And no, I'm just kidding. Dad was like, "When you coming back?" So having a vacation at a certain time was, that's probably like the longest I ever had. But going for months and months, just being having to lay in bed because you couldn't move because your surgery and stuff, and then it just takes a lot of out of you. I'm just hoping and believing that when this is done, that I will have, you know, made myself a better person and be in a better position so that when I do start tenting again, wherever, whatever that might be doing, uh, you know, that I will be in the best position, physically and all that stuff. So, and right now, what's going on, I don't want to be the guy laying around, but right now, I'm taking every day as a blessing, but also trying to, listen and become a better person. Listen and you know, just learn during this process. Because a lot of
Yep.
times we say, I just don't have time to spend with God, or I don't have time to
Mm.
do certain things because we're busy.
Oh,
Well, when COVID hit and all that stuff and all the things got taken away from us and all we had was time, what are you doing with your time? Are you making yourself better? Are you making your world better? That kind of stuff. But with everything that's going on in this particular, this instance is just, it's mind blowing to me. You know,
it's
I
amazing.
didn't, I did, I don't want it to sound in a certain way. I didn't ask for it. Uh, but I'm not going to tell anybody what not to do,
Don't block
because
their blessings, brother.
don't
This
block the blessing,
this is
because
beautiful.
yes sir, person after person that I've kind of shared this with, like from my chemo people, I've talked to her and she goes, I'm going to watch you tonight, and the guy who was like setting me up for Thursday to have it unhooked, he goes, man, these people are blessing you, but just receive it. They're
Yes.
just they're encouraging me, and I'm like, I was just telling you the story. I just wanted to give those people credit, but he's just telling me that to receive it, and that's all I can do. You know, um, it's it takes a lot of stress off, my wife with the finances and stuff like that, because she's the one that's always kind of dealt with that, and for her, when the finances dried up 2 days before all this stuff began, it just
Mm,
seemed like
mm.
God had it. He said, "This is what we're gonna do, and
Yeah.
this is what he's doing."
Yeah.
So
Well, you're a
thank
very
you, thank you, everybody.
oh, you're a deserving man, and yeah, everybody thanks you, and I believe that. I know I do because. By the way, real quick, I'm probably going to butcher this.
You're
Robbie
good.
Kronberger. You some. says that they put out a prayer request through First Baptist in Arlington. There's a bunch of people praying for you right
Thank
now
you,
as we
brother.
speak. Okay, that's
I'll
beautiful.
tell you this, I know there's people out there praying because
Yep.
everything that I've gone through, I just feel like it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I mean,
True.
there were some bad moments. There was some like, your body's just, you're throwing up and whatever. Uh, I don't know. I'm looking for the future and being alive and just making sure that, I'm here for my wife and kids and everybody. Uh, so to go through this next part of chemo, which was something that they weren't, half the doctor said yes, the other half said we don't know, because it was a rare version and they didn't have a whole lot of information on it. So we just decided do it to make sure, um, because I've always been the guy. I don't want it to be my fault
Right.
that something happened. So I always do like
Better let your
beyond what.
wife pick the number. Yeah.
Yes,
Don't want to be your
exactly.
fault.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't want to blame me for this one. But everything is just going as planned, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
That's
and to
awesome.
be on your show, dude. Could I ever imagine I'd be on Bob's show? No.
I,
It's
I
amazing, brother.
well, it's my pleasure to have you. We I'm not sure that everybody really knows what it means when I say don't block someone's blessing, but what's happening is people are stepping up, and if you just didn't receive this so graciously like you are, you would cut off the magic that everybody else is feeling.
Yeah, because
And
this isn't for me; it's for them.
yes,
They are being obedient for us the way we see this happening. Um, that someone who's willing to do something is not thinking about themselves but someone else. And by doing that and by stepping up or giving or praying for somebody, you know, you're receiving a blessing at the same time, but also God sees what you're doing, and he blesses you back beyond what you could have even imagined him
tenfold,
doing. You know,
tenfold. Yeah.
well, I mean, you could like say, well, if this happened, and you're like, God's like, that's it? That's all you want? You know, but I told my wife, I said, I'm not gonna, I didn't want to like take any focus of anything. I didn't want to, I was afraid to make a comment because I just didn't want to mess up what was so beautiful and what was going on. Um, I got to be, I got asked to be on Jason's show, and I said yes because I wanted to at least let people know who they were talking about. Um, and then I got to see Dean the other day when the auction was ending, for the heat gun.
Yeah.
I was on the way back from taking a walk with the dog, and I got to be on his little. He brought me in live, on that, and that was cool. So you're, you know, all week long, man. Since Angie said, "Would you like to be on it?" I'm like, yeah. I'm not gonna like. I'm not trying to be on podcasts and stuff, but I mean, I just want to be able to say thank you in person. Be able to say thanks to somebody because there's so much that you're receiving. You gotta at least be able to give something back, and that's my gratitude and being thankful for all this.
You are. You're giving back in more ways than you know. Like I say, it takes courage to. You had chemo today, brother. Okay,
We're
and
plugged in.
and you.
Didn't mean to show you that, but
Well, it's the reality. And you
yeah,
came on this show willing. You could be sitting in your armchair right now, and spending precious time with Miss Stephanie and your children.
yes,
Okay, but what you're doing is being a giver of heart, and you're giving back because you're healing an industry. You're bringing everybody together. Donnie, I mean, I have to say this. I mean, we love you, and this is great. We love you as brothers and sisters in Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and we are so thankful for what I don't think enough people get to hear what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
You are setting this stage through your courage and Carlos's lead
Mm-hmm.
that this is going to be more about our industry in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that
Because
is the
that,
true gift that you're giving back. Carlos, I mean, come on. His entertainment and you know, the tint battles, that's great. It's unifying a bunch of star tenors.
yep.
But what he's doing by really bringing in light of this, I tell you what, that kid's got his mind North Star. He
Mm-hmm.
fights off all the bad that's going on with this, and there's plenty of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he is focused, and he's amazing. Okay, I mean, everybody just continue to embrace Carlos. He's awesome. But that is your gift. That's what you're giving back, and we appreciate you sharing that with us because
Yes, sir.
it's amazing. You know, I know my fat butt would rather be in the chair. You know what I mean, at home. But here you are. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this being over. Uh, they actually told me, because I thought I was going to be doing 12, like twice a month,
Yes.
uh, you know, and the nurse told us today that they take in consideration the previous chemo that I did, which was like 5 days a week,
Mm.
for a month.
Yeah.
Uh, the chemo, they took that in consideration. So right now they say 8. So I'm at 3. I got 5 more treatments. I guess that's what it is. Uh, but then they have to kind of monitor your blood because every time I go in, they take my blood, make sure like my levels are good and whatever. So if they have to skip a week, then they have to add it at the end. But it looks like it because I asked her. I was like, I had my cup with me, and I'm like, I told her the story, and you could see it in her eyes. I mean, she was like, looked like she was about to kind of tear up, and I'm like, I thought I was like being rude by bringing it up, but she just listened and listened. She said, I did not know that the tent industry or whatever was that big or was that way. And I'm like, there are so many people out there, and I was just explaining to her all the auctions and stuff like that. But she said my last chemo was set up for that week. It was Tuesday, Thursday, and then the battle would be on the weekend. So um, it would been like my last chemo run would be on.
Do you plan to come down to the
That's
tent?
my plan. My wife, I think everybody, my wife, her mom and dad, my kids. Uh,
Well, you're in San Antonio. I've heard
yes, it's.
there's talk about some people coming to kidnap you if they have
I
to.
don't think I don't
Yeah.
think they'll have to. Uh, because to me, I want to say thank you, and I want to see the battle,
Yes.
just because I'm a tenor and that's what we just love, like stuff like that. Um, but just to be able to say thank you on to everyone that I can. Um, so that's my plan. I think there's a couple others that may be coming that may or may not. They from Georgia, family members, maybe. I don't know. Family, are you coming, family? Uh,
There's a chance.
so
Yeah.
meaning
Come on,
mom,
family.
mom, are you coming,
Mom.
mom? You might not know I know, but I was told some whatever.
Come on, Mom.
So
Mom, I'll be down there. I'm one of the commentators. Come on down. I'll hug your neck. You need to come see Donnie. If you need help, Mom, getting there, you let me know. We'll get you there. Okay? Mom, come down. See Donnie.
I'm hoping she's watching it because I told her. Um, she said, "How much longer?" I said, "About 47 minutes," because it was like 5:13 or whatever it was on the clock. Um, I told her where to go. I told her what to do. Hopefully you made it, Mom.
Well, it records. She'll be able to.
Yeah, I'll send you the link, Mom.
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know.
Like
But
they say, love you, mom. Yeah,
love you, Mom.
everybody
And
loves.
Dad. Hopefully Dad's watching too. So,
Nice, nice. Donnie, do you have any
and
parting words for the industry on, your talent? Do you have any words that you'd like to bless the industry with, whether it's passion about tinning, whether it's, um, well, give us something, Donnie. Give us something.
where do you start, Bob? My thing is,
Take us out,
tinning,
buddy.
tinning always has to do with how pride in your product, pride in what you do. It's always been that way. I always told myself if I got to a point where I did this or that, I'm done. I'll quit tinning. If that's what if this is the work I'm putting out. So you know, learn as much as you can.
Yes.
Take pride in what you do. Uh, I've always been the guy who tried to learn the differences in films, which ones were better. I mean, they're all pretty
Which
good.
adhesives were better,
Yeah,
dry,
it was all
pressure
about
sensitive.
shrinking,
Yeah,
installation. So sometimes you do have to go through different films to get the one that you like, that works with your skills and or your style and stuff like that.
sure.
Um, but I mean, it's a never-ending learning process
It's a journey.
because I've learned from many guys along the way. Uh, even so many years ago, just a particular method I learned from him, and I always give that guy credit. I call it when me and Chuck were doing flat glass, and we would, the way you cut the corners, he would do this thing. I always call it the Cochrane corner because I learned it from Chuck. Um, there was a particular, method where I would fold wet the film, fold it over, roll it up, and then unroll it on the back. I called it the Buddy method because Buddy told me how to do it. So it was just I always gave credit to it's like here's the Buddy method, and hopefully someone one day says, hey, I'm gonna do it the DIXON way or whatever. I don't know, but tinting's fun, man. If you're not
Enjoy.
enjoying it, then you might have to change shops or location or change your attitude. Um, but when attending, it should be fun.
Yeah.
It's paid my. I say before all this, it paid my bills from '94 on, and I wasn't even a window tinner. I was grew up a paint prepper, you know, and so
You were buying a house. It's afforded you a living. You were a happy man with your
throughout the
art,
years, it
craft.
took care of us for that many years,
Yeah.
and wasn't even a job that I even like, you know, sought out. But I learned how to do it. I learned how to do it really well. Learned from others, and like I said, tinning. When the guys get to battle, it's not really about like showing who's all that. It's just
No,
having, they're tenting and having
that's right.
fun,
That's
and just making fun of ourselves, whatever. But we do want to show our skills.
yes.
So um, bring it, bring it,
Bring it.
everybody,
Bring it. Yeah.
bring it to the tent battles.
One quick thing. I just realized I didn't thank Expel for donating the film to this event. I have a list here I'm going by, and
Exactly.
Expel. Thank
I
you
was
for
gonna
what you're
wear the
doing.
XPEL shirt, but I thought it would be disrespectful to you, so
Oh,
I just wore my plaid.
the
I had an
whole.
XPEL. I'm like, well, he's on Cool View. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I'm going my plaid.
You know why I
So
wear my cool view? I'm proud of my brand.
exactly.
And you just heard me right there. Thank Expel for what they're doing. I forgot them on the list. Okay, I mean, this B Plus podcast is not about any brand. It's about
Yeah,
every brand. It's about the
exactly.
industry, and
Everything win a film.
that's right. And last week was Tommy Silva. I mean, Vista dealer, so on. It's not just about that. This is a place we can all fly our flags. That's it. It's about the
Hmm.
people and coming together and learning from each other, trying to pick up nuggets like you laid down some great ones tonight. So again, um, I wish you would have wore whatever shirt you wanted to wear. A quick
I
shout out.
had I had one. I thought it was a little too flashy, so I went and found like I haven't worn this in probably a couple of years.
Well,
It's a Van. It's got Van brand, whatever. So whatever.
Yeah, again,
But
thanks
I'm a
for all
plaid
you're
guy. I
doing.
like plaid.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Look at this. Plaid.
That's good.
Okay,
Goes
brother,
good. I
huh?
like it. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All
I'm
right.
repping it.
Yeah. Donnie, thank you for coming on. Thanks, Stephanie, for sharing you with us tonight. It's been my extreme pleasure
She's somewhere.
it's been my extreme pleasure to have you here. I hope everybody else has enjoyed it as much as I have. Um, really,
I hope I did good, Bob.
you were amazing.
I
Amazing.
appreciate.
It was from the heart, and everybody else don't matter. What matters is right here. Okay?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
The most
Yes, sir.
genuine is straight from the heart. We had a great time. I know I did. Donnie, thank you. We're going to have you
Thank you,
back.
sir.
And we'll
Love
see
you,
you
brother.
down at Tinner Battles, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Okay? How's that?
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me.
Love you, brother.
I'm gonna come straight to you when I get there.
All right.
All
Come
right.
on.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right.
Good night.
Love you, Bob.
Love
Good
you
night,
too.
sir.
Bye bye now.
Bye.